All right, hello everyone. Welcome to Base Demo Day 2, where every week I showcase the best builders in the ecosystem. Now, before we dive in, I do just want to give a quick disclosure. Nothing in the stream is financial advice, and everything shared is for educational and informational purposes only. Please do your own research. Today we have four very exciting demos from the following companies. First, we have Ask Gina, a wallet with an AI agent integrated within that helps with research and execution of transactions on chain. Then we have Predict Base, a fully decentralized prediction market platform where users can place bets on real world events and generate revenue by creating their own prediction markets. Third, we have home-based maps and on-chain geofence check-in experience for base events all around the world. And then lastly, we have Tunnel, a platform that allows brands to launch fully automated creator marketing campaigns, rewarding creators for engagement and user-generated content. Now, some of today's presenters are actively raising, so please support them by sharing this episode. And the more people who see it, the more successful base projects will have. I'm also super excited to be joined by today's special guest, Philippe, a co-founder of Talent Protocol, who will be offering live feedback and product suggestions. Let's get Felipe in here. Hey, Felipe, how are you doing?
Hi, Nick. I'm doing great. It's a sunny day, at least in New York.
Yeah, I'm in Toronto right now, leaving from Consensus 26. I'm in the airport right now, actually. So if you just want to introduce yourself for people who might not know you.
Yeah, I'm Philippe, one of the three co-founders of Talent Protocol, which is something we've been building for more than 4 years now. So it's our fourth anniversary was last May 1st. And so we've been through several cycles and several iterations of our product. So hopefully some of the mistakes we made and the learnings we got can be helpful for other people. So that's, I think, mostly what I will be able to share with others is kind of what we did wrong and how to avoid the same mistakes. And we've been building with Base basically almost since the beginning. So since summer of 2023, I think. And yeah, it's been very exciting to follow along, be part of this journey together, and see all these the super talented builders that are part of this community.
Awesome, thank you. And for builders and founders, if you are building or thinking about building a base and you're looking for funding, exposure, or feedback on your product, apply for the next Base Demo Day. Link is in my X bio. All right, let's jump into our first demo. Kicking things off is Ask Gina, and here is what they're building. Hey Jacob, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me up here.
Of course, yeah. Okay, if you want to just share your screen and give us a little demo, and then we'll go based off of that.
All right, you guys should be seeing us infinitely, I guess.
Yep.
Cool. So we have about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Shall I begin?
Yep. Good. All you.
Cool. Okay. So I will start off with our pitch deck. I'm presenting home-based map today, which is.
Sorry to interrupt, Jacob. Nick, you have a lot of background noise, so maybe I think it's
Oh yeah, sorry.
to mute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. So what is home-based map? The main idea is it revolutionizes the event check-in experience by on-chain geofencing and providing attendees with incredible networking tools. Yeah. And so the market pain / need, there's currently no way to check in at events and have it properly geofenced until we have blockchain technology introduced. And we'll get to that in a second. And then there's no reliable way to scan attendees' skills at in-person events. Whether you are an attendee yourself looking for other like-minded individuals or specific skill sets, or if you are the event organizer yourself and you're curious to get the data points on whether, who's attending your actual events. So the solution is a check-in experience that stores the user coordinates and performs the distance calculations 100% on-chain. This hasn't been done anywhere else before. It uses what's called Astral Protocol and Ethereum attestation service. And then it also provides attendees with valuable information regarding other attendees. And we'll dig into that piece a bit more. But why we're amazing. As I mentioned, we leverage the Ethereum attestation service and Astral Protocol. We verify users' locations on chain in decentralized and permissionless ways. There's no backend. It's all decentralized and permissionless, stored on the blockchain with people, able to verify and attest to the attestations. And then the profiles that provide a social aspect, allowing users to directly connect the network. Our market size, first, I'm pretty sure anyone in crypto knows that events are always going to happen in the crypto ecosystem at a fairly rapid pace, whether they're conferences or smaller events, local meetups. And so aside from all the smaller meetups, we have the bigger ones. We can see here Bitcoin 2024 had over 35,000 attendees, ETH Denver 2024 with over 20,000, and DevCon 2024 with over 12.5 thousand. So our roadmap is everything that I've explained so far is in production today. I'll showcase that here in a second. But then we also have plans to expand to more events / ecosystems. Currently, we're very focused heavily on Base. However, there's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Optimism, what have you. And then even expanding beyond Web3 technologies and ecosystems. And then using it as a white labeled solution. So like Base would be a customer that comes in and says, hey, we want this dedicated platform to manage our events. And then community driven infrastructure as well, which is a way for members of the community to come in, create their own events and network that way. So our competition currently, the two big ones that we're looking at is Luma. Unfortunately, they don't have any geofencing check-in experiences or social features. It's kind of just an anonymous sign-up tool for your local events. And then meetup.com is over 20 years old at this point, and it's not really using any cutting-edge technology. Our revenue model can consist of fees for profile or event creation or check-ins, subscription models for users, or the one we're going to take a much closer look at is white labeled products for ecosystems and organizations. As I mentioned, again, same thing, just we go to Base or Base comes to us and says, hey, we want this event check-in platform, and we'll give them a fee for that. Traction and market validation. This has already been tested with the Base Batch workshops, all 51 of them. And across all events, we had 87 check-ins that are all, again, completely on-chain. Our ask is a 75K runway over the next year to finish building out the MVP roadmap with a completed revenue model and to improve the UX and code quality. That's the pitch deck. Thank you. You can contact me here. And then now, if I'm good on time, I'm going to check the stream really quick. I'm good on time still?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, now we'll just go. I think you have like one more minute, and then after that, we'll see if Philippe has any feedback for you.
Sure. I'll run through a very quick tech demo then, since I have a minute, just to show off what we have. So here we can see I load up the website. We're loading everything, and we can see all the events happening around me. Event here in Houston, and then I have an event here in New York, and we can see attendees. We can see that I attended this event, and we can see my skills, my socials are connected, and then the other event attendees as well. So let's assume that I click on that profile, and since this is my profile, we're seeing the editor version of it. However, these are all completely open source or public information. So if I simply go to an incognito window and open this up, let it load, we can see the public profile. This is somewhat the view of someone coming in, looking at it from an outside view. They can see my socials, they can see my about, my skills, my projects, and the previous events that I attended. And so if this person has the skills and I really like them, I can maybe click on their Twitter and get a direct link and send them a DM directly. And so that's kind of the power of Homebase. Yeah, that's what I got to share for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nick, by the way,
Felipe,
how much time
Yeah.
do we have to chat this? I have,
feedback, 2 minutes.
okay. Because I have many more questions and actual feedback. So, but maybe I can ask the
Yeah,
question.
questions, feedback, anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but the questions will probably just one question will be longer than 2 minutes because it's.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. No
I
question.
think my core. So kind of quick feedback is that I think that the demo that you just showed is what's interesting. So in a pitch, I would open with the demo. So let people kind of visualize, okay, this have like an anchor so that they can like attach all the information first. So start with the demo, start with a concrete use case or story saying, okay, for this event, we did this, here's how it worked. And then you explain like your strategy, your pitch, your vision. But I think grabbing my attention first with something concrete, I think is much more helpful. Because I think while you were presenting the pitch, I was trying to figure out what you're actually building. And then I think my main questions is, it isn't clear who's your main customer, because you have like the event organizers and the attendees. And it's okay that you have a product that works for both, like as a two-sided marketplace. But even for two-sided marketplaces, I would always start with one. So you're focusing on one of those sides first, and then the other. And also trying to understand, I didn't understand quite well what's the kind of critical pain point you're solving for each of them. What is it that what feature will make an events platform like 10x better than Luma, or that kind of will convince people to actually change existing habits? So it needs to be something really new. And I think from what you said, there's two, I think, core things that are different. Is like the geofencing and all the on-chain part. And it feels like they're two separate things. You can have just the geofencing without any on-chain part, and you can have the on-chain without the geofencing. So it feels like maybe you're trying to make two bets at once, and I'll probably start with one. And the last thing is that it's also not very clear why blockchain is needed for this product. Although you might be focusing on crypto events and events for crypto companies, but feels like the on-chain part of it and the attestations and the fact that it is kind of more open and decentralized and interoperable, it's but it's a nice to have. I don't see anyone changing, at least from what you presented, changing from Luma to an on-chain version just because it's on-chain. So I don't see where it adds like tremendous value or really allows you to do something that people really want to do. So maybe I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it on chain, but it's probably not a big selling point to open with or to convince people to change. Mm-hmm. But I think these kind of the main things that I got.
All right. Thank you, Jacob, for your time. And yeah, thanks, Felipe, for the feedback.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, Felipe and Nick.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Sid from Ask Gina. Hey, Sid, how are you doing?
Hey, doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
Hey, Felipe, good to see you again.
Yes, likewise.
Yeah, I mean, wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Ask Gina and what we're building here, and showcase our journey a little bit and where we've come so far. So I'll share my screen, and we can just go over it. I will just share my entire window. So yeah, just a bit of context. Ask Gina. Basically, we started out as one of the first AI agents on Farcaster. So you can see the account here where it's Gina. She posts uh, uh, regular casts on a daily basis, and then whenever anyone tags her, Gina responds. So you can see here, someone's literally talking about Japanese pancakes, and they asked Gina for the response to how to make these pancakes. She's responded. Today we have a lot of artificial intelligence agents running on social feeds today, but I believe we were one of the first to start this trend in August of last year, and we've continued developing Gina over and over and adding more and more functionality and features to her over the months. And as people interacted with Gina on Farcaster, we kept getting the feedback that people would like to actually transact with her on chain. This is logical as we're obviously in the space of transactions, and as markets heated up, one of the biggest things we saw was there was a lot of confusion in terms of how to actually engage with the various parts of the ecosystem as they developed. You had the base ecosystem, you had the Solana ecosystem, you had mini apps, you had dApps within these mini apps, you had DeFi. There's a ton of complexity that we come with as an industry, and especially for a newcomer, I think that experience is a little daunting. And so from our perspective, we started building a native app experience to interact with Gina, and ultimately we ended up here where we have a what is known as a Gina wallet. I've signed in with my Farcaster or X account, and basically what you have is a fully self-custodial wallet with your private keys, and you can fund your wallet. And Gina, the agent, has shared access to the wallet to delegate transactions to. So what this means in practice is you can have a conversation with Gina within this application interface. You have all your conversation history here, and she'll basically respond to you with a full breakdown of what all she could do and the various elements of her capabilities. And the three main parts I think I wanted to highlight here where we've really focused in on is firstly on the research side of things. As you're coming into crypto, you're confronted with this plethora of actions that you can possibly do. So part of the value add is how do you filter out some of this noise, and how do you actually drill down into what's actually interesting for you, whether that's DeFi, whether that's stable coins, whether that's meme coins, and actually dig down deeper. So she's really good at drilling into research around the market in particular. And then the second side is execution. So she can execute on-chain transactions across all EVM chains today, and soon Solana as well. And we're fully 7702 compliant as of last week. So especially 7702 upgraded chains, she can execute transactions on. And these transactions include just sending tokens, swaps, bridges. And I think the one thing I wanted to really call out with was when in terms of transactions, one of the big UX roadblocks for crypto has been having to have gas tokens on wallets on different chains, especially when you're interacting with applications on different chains. And with Gina, effectively, she will just choose the correct gas token for you on whichever chain you have funds in. Right now, we're defaulting to USDC on Base, but she can choose any available asset that's available to use for gas. And so you don't really have to worry about juggling for gas. And then with the AI experience itself, I think one thing we've been trying to focus on is the UX itself. A lot of agents today and in general AI interfaces necessitate you to type to actually interact with them. And one of the parts that we're really trying to drill down on is how can we get to a kind of autocomplete style experience where we try to have the agent guess what you actually want to do as a next step. So we've suggested buttons here. Gina suggests buttons on her own. And so you can just keep clicking buttons and going down the rabbit hole in terms of having a conversation with her without having to fully type out everything. And in terms of the research part, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about some of the capabilities. Basically, as time wore on and she kept answering questions on Farcaster, we kept adding more and more data sets to her capabilities. And so she, for example, if you wanted to find out about what are the best stablecoin yields across multiple chains, she's actually hooked up to DeFi Llama, CoinGecko, Dune Analytics, and several data providers today for you to do the research, and she'll do the research for you instead of you having to go to all these different websites and dig into what's actually legitimate. Here, she's actually, if you look at this tab here, you can see that she's actually getting the relevant data sets and creating a SQL query to actually filter through those data sets. So you effectively have a turbo-powered data scientist in your back pocket, especially tailored towards crypto. And she's doing this web search as well to add additional context. And I think the end result of this, I think you effectively get a kind of deep research report with a full breakdown of yields. And you could do this for various other use cases. We've had people ask about bullish and bearish cases for a given token, to assess a given token in terms of its potential for growth and whether it can generate fees, how does the competitive landscape look like, so on and so forth. And the queries just keep going on. And I think one part, we've had a plethora of crypto agents kind of come into the scene since we started building Gina. And I think one part I wanted to call out with was the technical differences in terms of how we've designed Gina. So one of the big approaches to building agents today is to use what's called tools, or effectively API calls that fetch data or execute actions in the real world. And one of the ways we've architected that's a little bit different than others is we effectively have a multi-agent setup in the backend, because we realize that a single agent calling a bunch of tools or API calls can't really scale to various different capabilities. And in crypto, we just have so many different things that you can possibly do on chain. So we created this kind of Queen Gina agent where she creates a routing and a handover plan depending on the user query. And then she delegates that plan to a sub-agent to do a particular job, which then calls the actual tools itself. So in a lot of open source agent frameworks, you kind of just see the tool layer, but I think the architecture around the tool layer is pretty important as well. And I'm sure we'll see the space progress as we move along this direction. And a fun example I kind of wanted to show you guys as well is with execution. So here I was just looking at a tweet earlier where someone had pasted a bunch of token tickers around on Base. And so, I mean, you could literally just paste this link to her and say, Gina, can you get me exposure to all the tokens mentioned here with $5 of USDC each. So she should actually be able to fetch that data, demo gods permitting, with what tokens are actually inside it, fetch the right metadata for each token, and do the work to actually get you exposure. And we're on the screen now, but while you're using Gina in production, you don't actually have to be on the screen. You can close it and go away, and she'll just do the work for you in the background. And that's kind of the space we really want to get to ultimately over the long term, is Gina effectively doing jobs for you like a real agent, and you being able to automate certain parts of your workflow and hand that over to her so she can look over markets for you. She can look at prices for you. She can get you exposure to tokens when certain factors or certain actions happen. And so you can see here, she's actually doing the work of getting exposure to all of these tokens. And this is something that simply would take you a ton of different of clicks, ton of research to actually get into and do the work to drill into this. And the hope is with an agent, this workflow just becomes significantly easier. And A, the research side, but then also B, the execution side. Both sides become a lot easier using Gina. So this is us, and looking forward to hearing some feedback and then also any questions you may have.
All right, that was right on time. Great timing. Felipe, you have any recommendations, thoughts?
Yeah, I'll try to kind of focus on three things to share our questions so that it's quicker. I think the first one is your idea for the autocomplete and the buttons. I think it's a great idea, because even in my case that I've been in crypto for a lot of years, I'm not like the trader profile, but still, when I see a crypto agent, I'm always, there's a little bit of that friction. I don't really know what I can do or what I can ask. So it's a little bit, I have no idea what's possible. So I think the fact that you show potential things that I can start doing, I think is great, and a great start for people to understand what's capable. The other things I was thinking, I think one you partially answered, which is, can Gina basically work while I sleep? So basically you kind of set a bunch of rules or kind of your risk profile, and then she just does stuff based on what happens in the market, and I don't need to be like prompting for her to do it. And I think that's already possible, right?
Yeah, we're just getting that up and running.
Okay.
So rolling that out slowly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think besides that, what would also be cool, and here I'm mostly like speaking as a potential user more than as a fellow founder, is even what's cooler is for her to be proactive. So one thing is, okay, I set a bunch of rules and stuff that I want to be done in when certain rules kind of or certain criteria is met. The other one is, can she be proactive, almost like a financial advisor? So for example, depending on what happens in the market and like my past transactions and what I hold in my wallets, she can suggest, okay, the market changed this way, so based on your portfolio and your risk profile, I think you should do this. And in that case, I just need to say yes or no. But it's almost like the opposite. It's not triggered by me prompting the AI. It's her, because I think for me, that's one of the questions. I don't want to be looking at the market or the news every day. But I also don't want to lose money, which is what usually happens when I just buy tokens for fun and then forget about them. And then when I remember they're worthless.
Yep.
So having like the opposite, which is the agent coming to me with proposals instead of me remember to go to the AI, I think would make a lot of sense, at least for me.
Absolutely 100% aligned. I mean, we want people to go touch grass and enjoy life, and not
and feel safe, and that they're making smart financial decisions without needing to put in all the work.
100%.
All right, thank you, Sid, so much for the demo.
Thanks so much. I just want to leave with telling everyone the final ask is, if we're not really raising right now, but if you guys just want to go out to askgina.ai, give it a shot. There's no whitelist. You can try the app today. Thank you.
All right, yeah, of course. All right, thank you, Sid. All right, next up we have Predict Base.
All right, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Or base morning, as everyone like to say in our Discord chat.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are all having a great afternoon. Let's go ahead and get started.
If you just want to share your screen.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and right now do it. Okay, awesome, perfect. All right. Once again, thank you for having us. We're part of the Predict Base platform. Just a quick intro about us. We're a decentralized marketing app, which we allow our users to create markets and to bet on them. It's completely decentralized. We don't take care of any of the money. It's all on the blockchain. The users get to create their own markets and take a bit of the commission on it, and they get to bet on anything that they like. Anything from crypto to NBA games to soccer games to politics, to anything that's related to them or whatever that they're interested in. Getting started with a demo, this is our current website. Just to make sure, can you guys see my screen and the website?
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Yeah, so this is our website. We're currently 2 or 3 weeks since May 1st into production. So as you guys can see, this is our beginning landing page platform where you guys can see the number of bets that we have from anything, again, from NBA games to politics to Bitcoin and stuff like that. And just a quick demo in order to be short. If you want to bet on something, is as simple as just clicking on whatever you want to bet. Betting a couple of dollars. You can, so for example, I'm interested in the NBA game for the Thunders versus Nuggets. The Nuggets obviously have a better outcome. It's a 2.39% So I'm going to go ahead and bet on this. And however amount which you bet, it is a live bet, which allows you to multiply your money. However, since it's live, the dynamic betting and the multiplier will change depending on how much you want to bet. So as you guys can see down here, there's a 2.39 times multiplier on my current money. But if I put more than almost $20 on it, the multiplier goes down. That is because it's currently dynamic, and the more I bet on one side, the more we're going to shift the odds, which we're going to multiply my money less or more. But currently, I'm going to try to bet around $3, and I'm going to go ahead and bet on this, and it's going to connect to my wallet. It's as simple as you having an extension, clicking confirm, and I'm just going to wait a bit for it, and there we go. Boom, successfully placed my $2.9. If we want to see which bets we placed, we can go to the dashboard. And here are the 2 bets. I placed a bet before on the European League. Couldn't help myself. But these are the 2 bets that we currently have in my dashboards. They're currently active ones. And I can keep track of all the money which I put in. So I currently put in $3.06 into my current bets with 2 bets active. And we can see the resolve ones, cancel ones, and all new. Obviously, this is a new wallet which I created, so we don't have any resolve or cancel ones. But the beauty of it is, if you're interested in markets and you want to bet on something, but you're like, I don't see any of the current bets, you can create your own. As easy as clicking on the Create Market button up the top. And then we're going to go ahead and try to create a market. So I'm going to bet on, perfect. We're going to bet on something as related as to this demo. So will the base demo platform number 2 receive we can do 250 viewers, which is something related to us. And then we can go ahead and do relate to crypto because we're base. The deadline, we can set it for at the end of the presentation, which could be at 10:45 our time. We're on the East Coast. We can pick the logo, which we can pick the base platform logo. And the crazy thing is we have market details, which is kind of the user or the creator explaining how they want the market to be resolved by our admins. We have added a new feature, which is called auto generation, which is it itself through AI creates you a generation of the details market. So you don't have to write it yourself. So I'm just going to click on this and bam, we have an auto generation details page. I'm going to go ahead and agree to our terms and conditions here and create market. And it's as simple as, again, just clicking the confirm button for the market page to be created. And we're going to be wait a bit and then bam, done. As easy as that. So it's saying market creation request has been submitted. So all the markets which are created first go through our admins page to make sure that the markets are not anything that can't be resolved easily or something that is too personal related to them only, so that people won't bet on it. So we have a group of moderators and staff checking each market. And within 24 hours, we're going to make sure that we approve all markets. So I'm currently waiting for my market to be approved so I can go back to my dashboard, and I'm going to have one of our other coworkers approve my market. And as you can see right here, I have my market down here. Will-based demo number 2 stream get more than 250 viewers. And if we go to our main page, and if we search for okay, it seems like we still didn't get approved. Okay, let's reload the page one more time, see if it's reloaded. And there we go. Bam, right? So we just got it approved by our staff team. As quick as that. And then we can go ahead and bet. So I'm going to go ahead and bet on yes, because I'm very confident in this. We can bet $12.5, and I can see multiply down here. Because this is a very new bet and there's not a lot of market and volume in it, we currently only have $4.5 and no. Somebody currently already betted on no. Our money only going to multiply by 1.36 times. But as the volume increases, that will either increase or decrease. So I'm going to go ahead and bet on this and confirm. And done. As easy as that. And as we go back to the market, to the dashboard, We can see our bet right here at the very, very top with the most amount of volume that we currently betted. And the beauty of it is if you bet multiple times on a certain market, and if you bet on different sites, you can kind of go into the show orders history, and you can see multiple of your orders in places which are bet. It's kind of a receipt format in order to make sure that none of your bets get lost. And in case if you have any questions for our moderators or staff, you can easily just copy paste this order and send it to us, and we can figure out if there's any issues. We also have a leaderboard page with a number of people who betted. So currently we have almost 500 users which are currently using our app in the past 2 weeks, which is very exciting. And as you can see, the top users putting in 4.5K, 1.1K, and $800 are top 3 users, and with the number of volumes. So there is the leaderboard for the number of volumes, which are how much money people put in, and the profit which people have taken. So as you can see, someone has taken 4.5K profit since 2 weeks ago on our app, and then the next person has taken $620 and $602. If we go to our rewards page, we currently actually have active rewards going on, which if you bet more than $10 on our platform, you can receive $2 back as our reward system, as our thank you. All you have to do is pretty much go follow our Twitter and our Discord account and put in your Twitter and Discord account here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the demo for now. And as easy as that, I've submitted, the form is completed. Form has been received, and then the rewards will be processed in 48 to 72 hours. We currently have more than 100 rewards which we've given out to other people. So if you're interested, go on our app and bet on it more than $10, and you can get your $2 rewards. We also have a docs page in order if you need any more details for about what the app is about, how much commission you can make on the markets which you create, which is around 1%. So every one of our users which create their own market, they can take revenue on the money. So if we go back to our dashboard and we go into my markets, as you can see over here, we have more than 25 cents I've already earned on this market because of the commission, right? And because the time is already finished and the market has already been resolved, so we can go ahead and check my bets. And so if we go in the market, and we search for my market again. As you can see, the market has already been resolved because it's been past the due date. And the winner was yes, because we did receive more than 250 viewers, right? So we can go ahead and check my dashboard. And right there at the top, you have winnings ready to claim. So I've won because I bet it on the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and claim my winnings. So my $12.50, which I just bet during this demo, turned into $21.65. So I'm going to go ahead and claim my rewards, confirm, as simple as that, and bam, right there. My total profit has been $8.9 so far, and I've also earned an extra 25 cents on the market itself because it was my market. Because I earned 1% of total volume on the market, and because there was more than $25 on the market, I have earned revenue on top of that. This is pretty much our demo. I hope you guys appreciate it, and I hope you guys liked it. And we can move on to the questions.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you. I only really have one.
We lost Nick.
Oh yeah.
You're back, Nick?
Nick, are you back?
Yeah, we lost you.
Got lagged out. That was great. I just have one question. So, like, legally, is this available in the US or?
Unfortunately, we're not available in the US. We're currently working with our lawyers and our team to make sure we can legal in the US. There are some hoops which we have to jump through. We had a similar issue on their side, which they weren't able to make it legal in the US at the beginning, but they were at the end. So we're hoping that by June 1st, we can get legal in the US.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Can you mute yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Michael, first of all, congrats on the demo. I think it was a very good demo and engaging. But I think my main questions is mostly thinking about products. So your main differentiation versus Polymarket, which is the reference in the category, is the ability to create markets.
Yeah, so we allow our users to create any market that they want. So Polymarket does not allow their users to make their own markets. So by doing that, we pretty much allowed our users to earn commissions on the markets that they want, so they can market so they can advertise their own markets and earn money on it. So it's a active side hustle for maybe some people to in order.
No, I just wanted to clarify because I think that kind of then gets to me to the other questions, which is probably there's a reason why Polymarket doesn't do that, and it's basically for example, in the example that you gave, what happens if you lie, or how do you prevent bad actors? Because you could have put, okay, will this live stream reach 1 million viewers, and then you just say it did, even though it didn't.
Right, that's actually a very good question. So when they create any of our users which create their own markets, they don't actually get to approve or resolve their own markets.
Okay.
So once they create the market, they have to make sure that they explain to us how they want the markets to be resolved.
And you resolve it.
And we resolve it. Yeah. So we both approve and resolve it. And the beauty of it is, on top of Polymarket, is Polymarket controls the money which they receive and they give. All of our money is decentralized and it's on the blockchain. So we don't keep any money. All of the money goes to the contract. And all we get to do is approve whether which side won and which side didn't win.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that's what the question that I had. So you approve it to make sure that is something resolvable, something that you can verify, and then you're the one verifying.
Exactly right. Yeah, we have a bunch of team who are trained to make sure that the markets are resolvable. And in case if the users make any mistakes, like grammatical errors, or if the image isn't appropriate, or if there's something wrong with the market, we can always edit the market for them, and then send it back to them and approve it. Either we approve it or we cancel it.
Okay, yeah, that's a interesting model. Probably, yeah, there's some operational challenges to scaling, but yeah, it looks like a cool idea. And for now, the markets just allow for like yes or no.
No. Actually, the beauty of it is you can have pretty much anything that you want. I can share my screen just one more time to show you guys this. But so if we go to the markets, if you go ahead and create the market, you can add any sort of options that you want here. So if we don't want yes or no, let's say we want to say how many people are demoing today.
So yeah, it can almost be like multiple choice.
Yeah,
like
multiple,
like a poll.
Yeah, you can have. Yeah, so you can have as many options as you want, and you can put any image that you want and any deadline that you want under all of our categories, and we just approve it for them. So you just create this as simple as this, and then you lay back, and then we can do all the work for you. All you have to do is pretty much advertise your own market to make sure that you receive enough volume in order to earn the commission that you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you. Again, really good demo. I like the product.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next, we have Kyle from Tunnel. Hey,
Yo,
Kyle.
what's going on, guys?
What's up?
Pleasure to be here. These demo days are awesome, man. Excited to show you guys what we're building.
Thank you.
We'll jump right into it here. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Sweet. So starting off, my name's Kyle. I'm the CEO and co-founder over at Tunnel. So pretty much what Tunnel's building is an engagement as a service platform. So essentially what that means is we help projects drive attention on social media using on-chain incentives. So from like a 10,000 foot view, how it works, a brand can come onto Tunnel and they can fund a reward pool with stable coins, pre-TGE points, or a custom token. And they can set content requirements that they want creators to post about on X. And then creators can claim deals from this reward pool and post the required content. We use an AI oracle to actually verify that the creator content followed all the requirements and was actually posted on social media. And then after that's verified, we release a payment to all those different creators. So the problem that we're looking to solve is obviously attention is super valuable and everyone's fighting to capture attention on social media. But the problem is there's only so much attention to go around and everyone's building and everyone's shipping. But there's the old saying, you know, if you build it, they'll come, which unfortunately, I think a lot of us builders know that that's not true. And we believe that the people who can capture attention and have strong distribution are going to win, or at least have a much better chance to win. So looking at this from a practical example, imagine if you're a DeFi project and say you're getting ready to launch your public beta or TGE or any type of event that, you know, you're going to ship a post and you want to make sure you get strong engagement and make sure you get as many eyeballs on that as possible. So say internally you wanted to have some type of strategy where you wanted to work with content creators on X to really push that. If you were trying to set that up internally, it's a very manual process. You're going to have to source all these different creators. You're going to have to coordinate all of the terms, what content's being posted, when is it going to go live. You're going to have to share and breathe. And then before, you're going to have to review some drafts and then give those approvals and green lights, and then manually setting out payments. So it's a really long, drawn out process. And what's exciting and what makes Tunnel's approach different is everything that I just explained, that manual process, is fully automated on Tunnel. So looking at this example here, this was actually a campaign that ran a few days ago on the platform. Kinetic is a DEX aggregator on Solana. They just launched their public beta. They wanted creators to quote tweet their launch post and just drive, engagement to that content. So they funded a 500 USDC reward pool and had just over 80 creators claim deals from that reward pool to post the required content to X. And their post has, I think, close to 60,000 views right now, all from verified Web3 creators. So we make it super easy. We escrow the funds, obviously, with smart contracts on chain. And then after the creators post their content, we use Chainlink functions to act as an AI oracle to verify that content and then release the payouts to the creators. So now I'll hop over to the app now and actually show you guys how this works. So we got our little homepage here. This is where you can see any current deals you have, a little overview. Also a discover page as well. So you can check out, who are some of the creators on the platform. We currently have, I think, close to 1,800 creators onboarded now. And then same for the brands as well. You can flip through and, see who's on the brand discover page, how many deals they've done. And then we also have some analytics. So if you wanted to click in here to Sheriff DeFi, for example, you can check out his profile, see his average engagement, impressions, number of deals he's done, smart followers, and some other stuff. But as far as the campaigns page, this is where all the active opportunities are. And we actually cooked something up for the demo here. So let's click into this. So we are launching a campaign right now. We launched this about, I think, 30 minutes ago. And basically we're having creators quote tweet this live stream right now. So we've had just over 51 creators in the last 25 minutes claim deals, and they're starting to tweet as we speak. So to go ahead and claim a deal, I will hit claim right here. And we launched a Clanker token yesterday called T-Demo. So that's what you see in the reward pool here. So now I will view this deal. I'll wait for this to confirm on chain. And then I'll grab a wallet address I want to use to get paid on. So I'll go ahead and accept this offer, input my wallet address here, and hit accept. And then now this deal will become live. And so this little box right here is where I can test my draft to make sure that it's going to be approved by our AI verification system before I actually make the tweet. So we can see the requirements are to provide a brief overview of Tunnel, encourage your audience to tune into this base demo day live stream, tag Tunnel, and quote tweet Nick's tweet. So let me go ahead and cook this draft up. Tunnel is an engagement as a service platform using smart contracts and AI to drive attention on social media. They are currently presenting at Based Demo Day. Everyone tune in. It is sweet. So now I can go ahead and verify this draft. And this is where the AI is going to cross-reference these requirements versus my draft. And I'm going to purposely leave out the required tag. And we're going to get a failed verification. Hey, you didn't use the tag. So no worries. This is why we have this draft phase before you actually make the tweet. So now I'll go ahead and verify this again. And sweet. So now my draft is good. So now I can copy this draft and I will go over to this current stream post, and I'll quote tweet it, and I will ship that. And then now I'm going to grab that tweet URL and then head back to Tunnel, paste that URL in here, and we'll submit that. And then wait for that to enter the on-chain verification phase. Cool. So now we can see this deal's verifying. So there's a 60-minute buffer period to make sure that the creator can't edit the post or delete it. And then Chainlink Functions will actually do this verification on chain, where the Oracle network will query an LLM off chain and get the responses from the LLM. The nodes will come to consensus and then return that answer back on chain. So the contract knows that the deal is active. And then after 48 hours, Chainlink Automation will do one final verification and release the escrow tokens to the wallet that I pasted when I accepted the deal. So fully automated there. And then we can see, so there's been 53 deals claimed now. And then here's actually this Kinetic campaign. So we can see 89 deals. And then if I also come back to this campaigns page, I can look at some of our past faucets, excuse me. This is another one we did this week with Jumper, 500 USDC budget. And then we have this leaderboard feature as well. So you can see like all the different creators that participated, links to their posts, and then the campaign performance. 52 unique tweets went out from 50 creators with over 46,000 impressions. And then we've got obviously all the past campaigns here you can browse. We did one for our public launch, which was a few weeks ago. Spent $360, got 55,000 impressions from 69 different creators. So that is pretty much all for the demo. I will head back to the deck now. So looking at our traction, 1 second here for a little water break. So traction. So we launched our private beta back in August. We shipped our private beta super fast. It was super MVP. And all you could do was send like a direct one-to-one deal to any creator on the platform. So we didn't have like this fully automated faucets product, but learned a lot and iterated. We shipped this faucets product, which I just demoed about a month ago, and then launched our public beta 2 weeks ago. So in total, we've done about $130,000 worth of volume. There's 200 brands onboarded and about 1,700 creators. Over the past month, we've done about 35,000 in volume from 15 faucet campaigns, and there's been over 1,500 deals completed on the platform. And then these are just some of the brands and creators that are active on the platform. Arcadia, Alchemia, Polytrade, all in the Base ecosystem. And then shout out Kinetic and Jumper. As far as like our market size and where we want to take Tunnel. So obviously right now we're focused on X and crypto Twitter, working with crypto brands and crypto creators specifically. We do plan to expand to TikTok. Obviously think there's a lot of untapped potential there. Really big opportunity. We know a lot of brands want to have a strategy on TikTok, but there just really isn't any platform like Tunnel that can bridge that gap to easily allow Web3 brands to tap into content creators on TikTok to make user-generated content in a streamlined manner. So we have the goal to become that platform. We also want to become the go-to content and engagement incentivization platform within the Base ecosystem. So we plan to expand to TikTok next quarter. As far as our revenue model, how do we make money? So pretty straightforward model here. Standard faucet campaigns is USDC on Base. If you're launching one of those, we take a 10% fee of the reward pool. So if you do a $1,000 faucet campaign, we take a $100 fee. Currently, it is not self-service. We launch these faucet campaigns on the back end, but within the next 1 to 2 months, it is going to be a self-service feature. So if you're a brand or a founder or creator looking to build your personal brand, you can ship a tweet. You can come over to Tunnel. You can input that tweet URL, deposit some USDC to the contract, and start getting real engagement from verified creators like within minutes. So I think like that's the super big unlock here is the speed at which we can get real engagement from real creators to start engaging with content to really push and amplify that post performance. Because going back to our core thesis, attention and distribution is critical. So the people who can get better distribution and more attention, you're going to have a better chance at success. As far as our roadmap, so we just launched faucets in public beta, as I mentioned, general access. We're getting ready to integrate with Privy. So obviously, if you're going to be expanding to TikTok and with the long-term goal of, being able to support brands and creators outside of the crypto niche, being able to have Privy where creators can log in with their TikTok account or Instagram account, automatically spin up an embedded wallet. We're going to be able to fully abstract away all of the on-chain complexity, and the app's just going to work. We just launched mobile support as well. We're currently raising our pre-seed round of $1 million, which we opened last month. And then for Q3, obviously expand to TikTok, self-service faucets, and then unified accounts is the next things on the menu. As far as the founding team, Kyle, as I mentioned, I'm the CEO. A little bit of background on myself. I was a SDR service titan for 1.5 years out of college. Quit to went full-time on Tunnel in November. My co-founder, Morgan, he is our CTO, does all of our engineering. He spent 3 years at Chainlink Labs and actually built Chainlink Functions, which is critical infrastructure that powers Tunnel. Guy's a Giga Chad. And then Jake, our other co-founder, he is our product design guy. So he's our wizard, makes everything look nice. He's got a ton of experience as well. So that's our founding team. We also have 2 engineers, Jerry and Adamola. Shout out to those guys. So that's pretty much everything. And then our ask is obviously any brands and creators that are watching this, we'd love to onboard you to Tunnel at app.tunnel.io. Also reach out to me on Telegram at KHTunnel. Would love to start working with you guys. And then, as I mentioned, just open our pre-seed round, raising $1 million. So feel free to hit us up.
All right. Thank you, Kyle, for the presentation. Awesome. Again, to mention, Kyle, Tunnel is raising 1 million. So if you are interested, DM him on X. And yeah. All right. Thank you, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.
No, yeah.
Philippe,
Yeah.
No, I have a few. Let's see what. I think first of all, I think it was a great demo. So congrats for that great product, great demo, great pitch. Very was engaging to see, and I think I was thinking of questions and things or advice to give you, but then you kind of answered all of that during your pitch, which is always good. I think.
Cool.
I think that the main questions or comments are around the challenges of doing the same thing for TikTok and video. Because I think for tweets, I think it's a bit easier for AI to validate the content, etc. So I think it feels, but for TikTok and video creators might be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, I mean, I think for net new content, if you're doing straight UGC where people are making videos, obviously more challenging to do the AI verification there. But Morgan already has been cooking up some proof of concepts where you can split up the video frame by frame, and the AI is very good at recognizing logos, for example. If you said, "Hey, make a TikTok video wearing a Tunnel hat," and being able to detect that logo, so you can split it up frame by frame, feed it to the AI, and then also transcript out the audio. So there's some stuff that we're cooking up there, but yeah, definitely being able to execute there is going to be critical for TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, there's a big opportunity in the big market. I think the other one is that I was thinking is how can we go a step further? And now I'm thinking almost as a brand, a step further. So how can we reward impact instead of just posts or views? Because the way I see it, do the creators get a fixed amount for posting, or is what they get depending on how many views they generate?
Yeah, so currently how it works for the demo, since we did this custom token, we just did a flat payout. But for all of the faucets that are currently in production, we have a custom reward formula. So it takes into account are you a verified X account? How many smart followers do you have? What's your average impressions and engagement? And then our formula has dynamic payouts. So someone like myself, my personal account's not very big. I might be able to make a post for 2 to 3 USDC, but it scales dynamically based on your account quality and metrics.
So, but it's based mainly on past data, not the specific content that you do.
Yeah, exactly. So like past profile metrics. So like of your last 50 tweets. Yeah. Average impression engagements.
Yeah, but I think that's also an interesting area to explore is how can you reward impact of the actual post. So one thing could be, okay, based on the amount of, it can be a combination of your past profile and how the quality of your creator account, but also how many views you generate for that specific campaign.
Yeah.
And being paid based on that, and then trying to find out other types of ways to kind of measure impact more than just content.
Yeah, and definitely. I agree.
I think also another thing that I thought related to this is, should you or have like and creators have a disclaimer that they're using Tunnel and that this is a paid promotion?
Yeah, I mean, I think Tunnel as a decentralized protocol, not in our area to say dictate that or
No, this is more like a rhetorical question or something.
I think also the brands too, in their when they set their requirements, they have full ability to say, hey, you must include a disclaimer, and then obviously if the creators don't include a disclaimer, they're not going to be able to do the deal. So
but maybe I was thinking of this even as like marketing growth tactic for you, so similar like to the old school ones, like
I see what you're saying, like
email signatures, like sent from my iPhone or something. So having creators add like a Tunnel tag as a way, and the excuse is like for transparency. For transparency, they should say that they're using Tunnel and this is a promoted content, but by doing that, they're also promoting Tunnel as a platform.
Yeah, I think we've actually started to see that organically, like in some of the campaigns we did this week. When people would post, they were tagging Tunnel and the brand that was hosting the Faucet campaign.
So not very clear thoughts there, but there might be something there as a way for you to get some visibility, and for other people know that you're the one kind of providing that value and streamlining all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
The last thing, and this is mainly just something for us to discuss later, is that at Talent Protocol we're actually currently looking at creating a creator score, so an ability to also like rank creators by their past data as well. I think that the key thing is that we'll aggregate a bunch of different data points to different platforms, and that also might be helpful for you to kind of to also streamline the creator onboarding, so making it a little bit more permissionless for new creators to also participate in that campaign without you having to kind of manually approve some or having like that manual process so intense, and making it more decentralized on that side of the marketplace as well.
Yeah, very cool. We currently integrate with a third-party provider called TweetScout, but definitely happy to connect. Are you guys going to be live with that in the near term or?
We're working on that, and then I think the main proposition is aggregating a bunch of different platforms, including on-chain ones, so content that you do on-chain, but also content off-chain. So having a more broader view of a creator, and that can be a data point that you add to your process.
Yeah, very cool, man. Well, we'd love to connect. Let's do it.
All right, thank you, Kyle, for the demo and the presentation. We're gonna end it off there, guys. Thank you so much for this week's Base Demo Day, where I showcase the best base builders in the ecosystem every week. Also, thank you to our co-host Philippe. Appreciate the feedback and the support. And if you are building, of course, and if you're building or thinking about building a base and looking for funding, exposure, or feedback on your product, apply for the next Base Demo Day. The link is in my bio. Again, thank you for everyone tuning in. And thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.